Hello everyone, I'm Thuy. I'm 28 years old this year, an age when you're supposed to have your life together. But right now, I'm living through some pretty uncertain days in a peaceful countryside in northern Vietnam. Out of habit, whenever I wake up, I take a long stretch to wake myself up, recharge my energy for the day, and then meticulously fold my blanket. I've always believed that preparing yourself thoroughly before doing anything is essential, especially at the start of a new day. Sitting in front of the mirror, I gently fix my hair, but then I suddenly freeze as a wave of emotion washes over me. It suddenly hits me that today is a truly special day. It's special because I just decided to quit my job at a company I've been with for over 5 years. It was a decision I struggled with and overthought for a very long time. If you're wondering why I'd walk away from such a familiar place, let me share my story with you. Despite my small frame, I used to be a factory worker in the sole department of a leather shoe company. My main job was trimming the edges of pressed shoe soles. It might sound easy and not too labor-intensive, but the toxic chemical smell from the pressing workshop constantly filled my lungs, making me feel suffocated and miserable. What was even worse was the endless cycle of working 3 rotating shifts. Shift 1 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., Shift 2 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Shift 3, the most exhausting one, running from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning. With my schedule constantly flipping between day and night, adjusting my sleep schedule became an absolute nightmare. The chronic sleep deprivation started taking a massive toll on my health. I know that money is incredibly important to me and everyone else out there, but after many sleepless nights, I realized that while money can always be remade, once your health is gone, nothing can replace it. Even though I worked so hard and sacrificed my youth, my monthly salary wasn't much, just a meager 5 to 6 million Vietnamese dong, which is a little over $200. After stretching that tiny amount to cover rent and daily living expenses, there was barely anything left. Saving money was a total luxury for me. Today I just got home after finishing my final shift 3. My body is completely exhausted and worn out because last night I poured every ounce of energy I had left into wrapping up my final tasks. I wanted to leave the company on the best possible terms. It's already 3 p.m. now, which is my usual wake-up time after pulling an all-nighter. Looking ahead to the coming days, I can't help but feel deeply anxious. I know I'll have to try incredibly hard to find a new job, somewhere better suited for me, and above all, safer for my health. Right now, I'm renting a tiny room from a local family, measuring only about 16 to 17 square meters. For a girl living alone, the space is just enough. The neighborhood is about 5 kilometers away from the industrial park. I chose to live a bit further out, in exchange for much cheaper rent, compared to areas right next to the factories, costing only around 700,000 Vietnamese dong a month, which is nearly $27. Sometimes, thinking about my uncertain future makes me feel so sad and lonely. I have no idea where my life is heading, so at this age, I don't even dare to dream of having a complete family of my own. How can I dream when I'm currently jobless, homeless, and my health is declining day by day? But every time I feel weak, I tell myself to stay strong and get through it. After the rain, the sun always shines, right guys? Now, I need to head to the market to grab some groceries for dinner. You know, for the next 2 weeks, I only have exactly 360,000 Vietnamese dong left in my pocket, equivalent to about $13.80 to scrape by until I get my final paycheck from the company. I'll have to budget extremely carefully to stretch my living expenses as evenly as possible. But that's okay. Everything will turn out fine. Today, I want to take you along to explore around where I live, to get a breath of fresh air. Follow me. I'll take you deep into the industrial park, where the massive factories are located, and we'll check out the local market dedicated to low-income workers like me. This is probably a completely different side, a raw, real glimpse that you might have never known about my country, Vietnam. Come along with me and watch the video until the very end. From the area where I rent my house, it takes about 15 minutes by motorbike to get to the industrial park. The weather at 3 p.m. today is quite cool. A few days ago, the weather was very hot, sometimes reaching up to 40 degrees C. At that time, it was impossible to go out on the street. But today, perhaps the weather has relented and is no longer hot. I only like weather like this. However, I still have to fear what the calculations for my future will be like. Here is the industrial park, guys. I work at a company here. There are only a few companies around here. It's not like the large industrial parks in city areas, but the number of workers employed at the company is also large, about 14,000 to 15,000 workers. During shift changes every day, which are peak hours, this stretch of road is packed with workers, making it impossible to film for you to see. This is the company gate, where local vendors selling vegetables, fruits, and other goods are also present. But now, I will go into the workers' market to buy food for dinner. Those who have watched this far, please watch the whole video to discover what the workers' market has to offer. The market area in the countryside will not have as much variety and abundance of goods as in big cities. There are only local vegetables, fruits, local produce, meat, fish, necessary items for daily life. The infrastructure is also not as good as that of a city market.
Cá gì đấy?
Cá này có một cái mặt sang bao. Đây có người này, đây mặt má này. Cái nhồng này có người
này là cá nướng hả?
Uống đây em lấy em nhặt đi.
Có mặt má hả mấy?
Má cũng sang bao.
120 được không?
Thì em lấy mặt cả đó. Anh lấy gì không lấy?
I will buy some grilled mackerel to bring home. I often eat mackerel. It's not a delicacy like Spanish mackerel or other open sea fish, but simply because I like it. It suits my taste, and it's cheap too. It costs about 130,000 Vietnamese dong per kg, which is around 5 USD. But I chose 4 fish for about 65,000 Vietnamese dong, around 2.5 USD, not to eat in one day, but to bring home, store in the refrigerator, and eat over the next few days.
Rau xìm.
Rau chiên như thế này. Khoai. Khoai luôn hả? Không nói chỗ lại.
Rau thực phẩm à? Rau hình đỏ.
I often buy vegetables from elderly women, around 50 to 60 years old, who sell them because I feel that the lives of these elderly women are even harder than mine. Furthermore, these are what we call clean vegetables because the women usually grow them at home and then bring the bundles of vegetables to the market on their bicycles to sell. I bought a bundle of vegetables for 3,000 Vietnamese dong, about 0.150 USD. I find it cheap and feel safer eating it. When looking at lives that face even greater hardships than mine, I tell myself that I must keep trying. The market is gradually seeing an increase in workers returning from work, so the pace of buying and selling at the market is becoming more bustling.
Lấy em quả dứa nhỏ nhỏ nào. Dứa gai, lấy quả nhỏ thôi.
7.000 chị ạ.
7.000 à?
Dạ chưa?
I'll buy a pineapple to bring home. It can be used to cook soup or braise with fish. A pineapple costs 7,000 Vietnamese dong, about 2.6 USD.
Táo à? Hai là có táo rồi không?
Có đồ, có đồ.
Ngon không? Nhãn mấy cân? Có nhãn rồi không? Đào mấy cân? 25 không được hả?
I'll buy a few more longans. I don't know if you have this kind of fruit in your country, but it's a very popular summer fruit in my country. This year's harvest failed, but the price isn't too high, costing 45,000 Vietnamese dong per kilo. However, I only bought 28,000 Vietnamese dong worth, about 1.1 USD.
luôn.
เราไปถ่าย
Như là nó bài mà chẳng cái đến đốt đi chứ.
On my way back, I stopped by to buy a glass of sugarcane juice. Sugarcane juice is a popular drink in Vietnam. It's very refreshing to drink in the summer. The price is only 10,000 Vietnamese dong, about 0.4 USD. Is there sugarcane juice in your country? If so, please leave a comment to let me know. After returning home, I rested for a bit. I took a sip of sugarcane juice to cool down and feel re-energized. I calculated that going to the market today cost about 113,000 Vietnamese dong, which is about 430 USD, but it will last for the next few days. Now it's time for me to cook dinner. Please follow me. I took the fish out to fry. The remaining fish will be stored in the refrigerator to eat in the following days. I know life right now is very hard and difficult, but I keep telling myself to stay strong, because who knows, maybe a new job or a bright new door will open up for me ahead. And here is my simple dinner, a refreshing bowl of green vegetable soup and a crispy fried mackerel. In the quiet of my rented room, I suddenly feel a rare moment of peace and relaxation. After years of non-stop shift work, yet beneath this tranquility lies a lingering, restless anxiety that I just can't shake. This is the reality of my evening. As a 28-year-old girl living all alone, jobless, homeless, and completely in the dark about what tomorrow will bring. Just like anyone else, I've always dreamed of a rosy life, or at least a tiny bit of luck, to smile upon me through the storms. But looking back, I realize that because you are still here, watching until this very point in the video, I am already incredibly lucky. I am lucky because amidst the hustle and bustle of the world out there, you still chose to stay by my side and listen to the vulnerable, uncertain thoughts of a stranger. Your empathy and your time are the greatest gifts and the biggest comfort to me right now. I sincerely wish all of you health, peace, and happiness in your lives. As for me, no matter how hazy the road ahead may be, I will keep holding onto a steady spark of hope. I wish myself luck, and I wish you an abundance of luck on your own journey as well. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye and see you again.